The world is my playground. The world is my son.
It's too back of Calcutta, or the big everything cup.
Split into continents, cut up in parts, divided in veins, says the laureate, long before the medical probes find the evidence. My umbilical motherland,
One is in the east and one is in the west.
buried, hidden, invisible, unknown, unseen, asymptomatic, separated from mother continent. I am an island, the independent kind, an Amazonian, descendant of the first Americaners, ancestors of ancient Pacific Atlantic crisscrossings of discovery long before Kon-Tiki.
Khali karo bangala khali karo Kolkata.
I have never been able to contemplate the history of my islands as the isolated story of independence or colonization or even migration, not the recent migrations that brought most of us here, nor even the prehistoric ones. I have pored over maps and drew the invisible line that connects South American rivers and topography with our islands, and looked at biological studies of our flora and fauna, and geological and anthropological and archaeological reports, and even without that, knowing their primordial linkages which we have been taught to forget. To move beyond the self-derision and self-deprecation and discover our ugliness too, and our beauty too, as I trace the imaginary line that connects us, island and continent. This is a liturgy, a praise song to all who came before, and on whose enormous shoulders we stand hand and wolf.
I'm footloose and free. Just follow me, and you'll see, you and me, it's so good to be footloose and free. I wander around through countries, inside and town. Come with me, come on, see what's still to be born. The world is my playground. The wind is my song. I believe in truth, love and freedom. I visit all but stay with none for long.
So how do we readjust the discussion, the academic agenda, the research agenda, the agenda of society, the lobby and advocacy agenda, and the process to pivot out of this reactionary neo-colonial mode, responding to a neo-colonial agendas of the international community so that it can have more meaningful impact in the long term? Because what we are looking at, unless we fix that, every different process we want to enter, we're going to have the same challenge. AI is not acultural, it comes to us with all kinds of biases and prejudices. I am talking about understanding the culture of politics, the culture of how we do business. None of those discussions are on the table, and those are built-in biases and prejudices that we convey through media. Right? Was always trying to make education from the high tower more accessible to the rest of the community. So it's trying to blend that journalism into education, whereas each profession had a very negative view of each other, media savvy, and they aren't trained to be sensitive to this kind of thing. So when we talk about media, about education through media, these are some of the discussions that we should be tabling.
You are smarter than a smartphone, yes you are.
Correct. So I moved from media into new media very early in the game, then started training civil society organizations, educational institutions in being able to use new media for their outreach and advocacy. Those are built-in biases and prejudices that we convey through media.
She is an award-winning Caribbean journalist, new media innovator, and ICT blogging pioneer. She's recognized as a Global Woman Techmakers Ambassador, Google Digital Skills, World Pulse Digital, and Small Island Innovators Ambassador, a UNESCO and National Geographic educator and independent scholar. She invented the newest creative genre, the multimedia micro-epic in the midst of the pandemic panic. Outspoken, fiery, and creative, Dr. Kris Rampersad discusses digital deletion, AI bias, and retooling the banking, education, governance, NGO, media, and cultural sectors towards developing a creative roadmap for Caribbean cultural survival and re-engineering education for the digital age.